And we are recording, and we are also streaming on YouTube. Nice.
Hey, Zev.
Hey, Ben.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. All right. Hi, everybody.
All right. Francisca, Kim, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us right on time. So we have everybody, and then I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen, Ben?
Yeah.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get started. So thank you everybody for joining us. We're really happy to have you today. I know the holidays are getting close, so thank you for taking the time to learn about the product that we've been building. My name is Xavier, and I am the co-founder. Ben being my the other co-founder of Koala, and I am joining you today from North Carolina. And Ben, you're in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Koala is a tool that was built for you and for your students. So it's free, and whatever feature that you feel is missing from Koala, please contact us. Feel free to shoot a message, and we'll add it for you. Don't worry if you miss any steps during this webinar today. We're going to take our time, and this webinar is recorded, so I will share it with you in the next couple of days. I'm going to take 2 minutes to tell you about the Koala team, 2 minutes to tell you what Koala is, and then the bulk of today's webinar training will be to show you step by step how to get started with Koala. Okay, so what we recommend for this training is that you have access to a Mac or a PC next to you so that you can just replicate those steps as we go through it. Of course, if at any time you have an issue or you have a question, please shoot us a message in the chat. We'll pause the demo and we'll make sure that you're unblocked. And actually, before I get started with this, may I ask you we would like to know what you currently teach. Could you let us know in the chat, A, if it's literacy, type A if it's literacy, type B if it's math, and type C if it's something else. We would love to know what it is. Thank you. So we have literacy. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Lisa.
History. Wow, that's really
US
cool.
history.
The first time we have a history teacher here. Welcome. That's awesome.
Yeah, welcome, Nisha. Thank you. All right, and feel free to keep sending it in the chat while I go on.
Thanks, Chris, for sharing.
So what we'll show you today is, first of all, how to create a free account with Koala. We'll walk you through those steps. We'll show you how to start a class, how to move your avatar in the virtual classroom. You'll see it's very easy. How to change your avatar, how to invite students to your virtual classroom, how to toggle your camera on and off. And finally, we'll do a simple exercise with Ben as the student, me as the teacher, in Koala, in our virtual classroom, and we'll create a letter tile system to show you how the feature works. I'll take 2 minutes after this training to tell you about other free resources for you, and 1 minute for our next webinar, and then we'll take the rest of the hour or 45 minutes to take your questions. All right, so here is who we are. Our product is an alternative to Zoom. So we're kind of a competitor to Zoom, but we're a much smaller team than Zoom. We're 6 people actually in the team. We have Ben, my co-founder here, who was crazy enough to leave Apple to start Koala. His parents are both teachers, and he's French American like me, and he's a brilliant programmer. We have Brennan, who's also on this webinar with us today, who's also the son of teachers. He's a brilliant programmer, and he's also based in California. Jérôme is our very talented 3D artist who builds all this environment that you will see today, the Koala avatars, the virtual classroom, etc. And he's based in London, and he happens to be dyslexic. Tafika, who is building our how-to videos on the YouTube channel that you may have seen. She's really great. Gian, very patient, very empathetic, who is here for you if you need any personal training after this webinar. And myself. All right, what is Koala? So I'll tell you in a couple minutes the genesis of Koala and why we built it. Was Ben and I 2 years ago meeting a lot of families who had kids who were dyslexic. So kids with dyslexia who had huge potential, but who were really struggling at school. It was impacting their self-esteem, and while at the same time having really high IQ. And we felt like there was a lot that we knew about dyslexia, which was about the weaknesses, struggling reader, struggling writer, but that there were a lot of overlooked strengths, such as strengths with spatial thinking, episodic memory, multi-sensory learning, touching, learning by seeing, hearing, touching things. And that's what Koala is. Koala is a multi-sensory alternative to Zoom for kids, for students with sensory needs. And of course, the last request that we heard from those students with dyslexia who needed to structured literacy instructions was that it's hard to make a structured literacy session really fun online. So we try to add some gamification, some game aspects to our product. All right, enough talking. Let's show you the product. So as I said earlier, I'm going to share my screen, and I highly encourage you at home to take your Mac or take your Windows PC and replicate those steps with me as I go through them. If you feel like you're missing something or there's something that doesn't look right, shoot us a message in the chat, and Ben will interrupt me. So the first thing we will do is on Google, we will, in Google Chrome, for instance, you can type teach with koala.com. teachwithkoala.com. Ben, do you mind sending the link to everybody?
No problem. Doing it right now.
Thank you. teachwithkoala.com, and then hit return. So this is our website, and this is the place where you're going to be able to download the Koala app. Once you see this banner, scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see those 3 buttons: download for Windows, download for Mac, and launch in your browser. As a teacher, you need to be using either the Windows app or the Mac app. So for me, I have a Mac, so I'm going to click on download for Mac. If you have a Windows, please click on download for Windows. Ben, do you want to comment real quick on the procedure for people who have a Windows PC?
Yeah, it should be very simple. Just click on the download for Windows button. Let the file basically should be called koala installer.exe, I believe, or koala setup.exe. Once it's done, just click on that file that was downloaded and follow the instructions to install Koala. That's all you need to do.
Excellent, thank you. And it may take a few seconds for you to download the app. So while this happens, Ben has kindly offered to play some guitar for all
Actually,
of us.
if you don't mind, Xavier, me asking the question to you guys, can you write in the comments if you have a Windows computer or a Mac computer? That would help us a lot. Thank you. And in the meantime, I'll play the guitar like Xavier asked me to. This is not the most comfortable chair for this, but there we go. Done. Hopefully everybody had time to download their Koala setup. Thanks.
Everybody had time to enjoy the therapeutical benefits of listening to some music sometimes. So thank you, Ben.
So we got 5 PCs, 2 Macs, 5 PCs and 2 Macs. Okay, good.
Very good.
So yeah, for those on Windows, obviously, just we're not showing it today, but it should be pretty trivial. Let us know in the comments if you're having issues downloading and installing.
Yep. So by now you should have had the time to download your app. So what I'm going to do is launch that Koala installer that I just downloaded. It's removed. Sorry, it's that one. And what will happen is this little window will pop up as the app gets installed. And then you'll have a window like this that will pop up. So here, this is the standard procedure. You can just take the app and drag it and drop it into your application folder. A tip that I can recommend, that I highly recommend you to also do, is take that app and copy and paste it into your dock here at the bottom if you're on Mac. That will allow you to have access to your app really easily later. And once this is done, I'm simply going to close this window and launch Koala. So the first thing you see once you've launched Koala is 2 options: sign up or log in here, sign in for free to host and join classrooms, or continue as guests.
Xavier, if I may interject,
please.
For some of you Mac users, the window might be blown up when you start it. Make sure that you double click on the gray bar at the top of the window. Xavier, can you put your mouse on it? Yep, double click there. Again, can you click it? Can you double click?
So it will look like this.
It might look like
this. You open the app, and then if I double click here, it will adjust to the size of the window.
Yeah, there you go. So hopefully that works for everybody.
So what you need to do as a teacher to be able to host your virtual classroom is to click on sign up or log in. And as soon as you do this, you're going to see this window. Welcome to Koala authentication. Log in or sign up to get started. this is a one-time step that you do at the very beginning, the first time you use Koala, for us to authenticate that this is a real email address. And here you can either sign in with Google, which is probably the easiest option, and then follow this, click on the Gmail account that you want, and then complete the authentication. Or you can also simply type your email address here. So I'm going to type my email address to show you this option as well. Type here.
I have to say
sign
that,
in without password.
Sorry, Xep, to interrupt, but it is easier to just sign in with Google. It'll be faster for you guys. So if you can do that, just do that. Otherwise, go through the other option. Yeah.
Yep. And if you have to go through the other option, if for some reason you don't have a Gmail account, you simply go to your Gmail account on your computer or on your phone or on any device, and you'll receive an email that says, Albert the robot, your Koala magic login link. Click on confirm. And then you'll get this code, which you can select.
So for those who have logged in with Google, you skip the step whether you have an email in your mailbox. You just go straight to this step. So you might be
that's right.
So you're not confused. You should get the goal is to get to this step.
Click on this little icon in order to copy the code. You will copy this code here, and then go back to Koala here. Click on this icon and paste it here and submit.
And in order to paste on Mac, just do Command V, and on Windows Control V. I don't know if you're already familiar with those shortcuts, but
pretty convenient.
Mm-hmm. All right. So before we
could you let us know in the chat if you reached that step,
or if you're struggling with certain aspects of this? No news, good news. All right, we got Margaret. Margaret is already in. That's cool. Any of the Mac users experiencing issues, maybe, or the Windows users for that matter? Okay, Kim's good. Thanks, Kim, for the heads up. It might take a little bit more time for some of you to download. Oh, Chris is already in the classroom.
Chris is going way too fast.
Chris, you're way too fast for us.
Gita as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess if nobody's saying
you're ahead of us.
Okay. Yeah. If nobody's saying that there's issues, then we'll just continue from here.
But I think Chris is cheating a little bit because I don't think it's the first time
I think
Chris is attending those webinars.
But that's awesome, Chris. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming back.
All right. So if you reach that step, then you can click on. You can first of all, you can type your username, which is any username you want. It will show next to your avatar later. So I'm just going to type my first name and then click on teacher. So here, this is an important step. So I'll bring your attention here to this here that says your room address. Koala is a free virtual classroom for you in the most literal sense of the term. So we're giving you a space, a virtual real estate that has an address, like a physical address. The address of my virtual classroom is 99 Unicorn Boulevard. For you, it will be different. And this is your permanent address that you're seeing here. And this is the address that you will share with the students when you want them to join your virtual classroom. So don't worry, you'll have other ways to retrieve this later, but this is your your unique address. And here I see how many students are you expecting, ? This means that you can set the number of students that you expect at a given time. So at once. So today, since I'm only going to invite Ben to my virtual classroom, I'm going to set this to 1 student. And you can go up to 5 students in your virtual classroom.
So for those of you who are new to Koala, you can also set that setting while in your classroom. You don't need to exit your classroom, change this, and go back. We'll show you how to do that in a second.
That's
so
right.
Don't worry if you didn't put the right number right off the bat.
and then you just click on Start Room. Ben, feel free to interrupt me if we have any questions, okay?
Oh, wait, Nicola is not happy with their name. So, Nicola, it's not really your name, it's your address. It's your permanent Koala address. If you hate it, shoot me an email and with what you would prefer to have, and we would be happy to change it for you. He's kidding. All right, well, still, sending my email here. Feel free to shoot us an email, any of you guys, if you prefer a different address.
This is not an opportunity that we give to everybody, but because you're attending this webinar,
exactly.
If I were you, I would seize that opportunity and shoot an email to Ben and think for a sec of what type of address you want. It needs to be a number and then an animal and then, boulevard, street, avenue, etc.
Right.
Cool. All right. So here, congratulations if you've made it to this point because you've entered your virtual classroom. I'm going to put this in full screen. This, don't panic. You'll see it's very easy. It works just like a simple video game. You exist as an avatar in a virtual classroom space where you can move around, okay? You see the world through the eyes of your avatar, okay? The first time you open Koala, you're going to see this little window here, which shows you the controls. It says that to move forward, you're going to have to press the up arrow on your keyboard. Down arrow, you move backwards. Left is left, right is right. So let's close this window here and let's try.
Don't confuse that window with, don't try to click on those images of the arrows. They're just images, they're not buttons. Xavier is going to show right now how to actually move around.
But a quick tip is, first of all, you see your arrow here. Click on the floor. Make sure you don't select this frame here. Click on the floor and then up arrow on your keyboard. So here right now I'm pressing the up arrow and you see that I'm moving forward. Back arrow, I'm moving backwards. Left arrow, I'm turning to the left, towards the left. And right arrow, I'm turning towards the right.
Xav, before we continue, we have a couple questions
let's do it.
And points that are interesting. One is Susan saying that for dyslexic, the simpler the better, which is a great point. And she's saying that they couldn't move the letter tiles. Susan, I know that, so the issues that you've been having, I'm not sure what they are due. I think it's really worth it for you to just send me a quick hello by email, and we'll set up together a quick a call for us to figure out what's happening. And from Margaret is asking if I tutor and teach during the day, could I have 2 addresses? So I'm not sure I understand that use case, Margaret. The only reason you would have, so do you want to separate your tutoring classroom from your teaching classroom? Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
Okay, so you would like to have, what you can do is just log in with 2 different emails. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, you could, if you use 2 different emails, the room address is associated with the email. So you can log out with your current account. Xavier, can you show quickly how to log out actually for Margaret?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to click on the top right of my screen on that little exit door. It says quit. And then you can skip this. Sorry, let me exit full screen. And then you can sign out, Margaret, at the bottom right, sign out. Because here I'm signed in as Xavier at EinsteinStudio.io. If you sign out, you can redo this process, sign up or log in, and use another email address.
All right. You might have to click sign out.
Sign out again here.
Yeah. It might not be the most trivial way to do it. But Margaret, I'm wondering why is it important for you to have 2 different addresses? Because a student cannot enter your class until you're in it, right? And then if you're expecting, well, I guess like if you have your student already connected with your class when you're doing the classroom, nobody else can enter while you're doing the class, unless you allow it, of course. So I'm not sure I understand. Oh, one is not sure. Yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your use case.
It's technically feasible.
Yeah.
All right. So I am now back in my virtual classroom, and we know how to move forward, backwards, left, and right. So now you should be able to visit your virtual classroom. You'll see if you turn here and then you walk towards a window, you're going to see this little bookshelf here and a little window and a little Christmas tree because the holidays are near. And if you can even go look through the window, beautiful view here. And again, you're seeing the world through the eyes of your avatar. So maybe something you're curious about is, what does my avatar look like to other people? So the one way to do this is if you click at the bottom right on the setting icon, you'll have you have 4 icons popping up above. And the second one from the top says customize avatar. Go ahead and click on this one. Again, I'm going to show you bottom right, setting icon, and then customize avatar. And here I am in the menu where I can edit my default avatar. You've all been given an avatar that you may like or not like, and you may want to make some changes. And this is very easy. You just click on body, and then it will give you different skin tones and different haircuts, eyelashes, facial hair, etc., and a lot of other options. So I'll let you explore those. Ben, do we have any question we need to?
Yeah, sorry, I made a mistake. I answered. I guess I did maybe address 2 problems at once, but I think Gita. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it right. You're asking if you have 7 students and you meet with one-on-one. If you give them all the same classroom address, could they potentially enter when I'm working with another student? The answer is no. As long as you have, Xavier, can you show click the home button top left? As long
Top
as you
left, there's a
have,
little home here.
yeah, 1 seat available in your classroom. If you have your student connect and occupy that seat, nobody else will be able to join the classroom unless you open more seats. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, I think you got that. And you can always kick students out as well. There's a button to kick them out. We'll show you that. We'll show you that after.
Great. Have you guys been able to edit your avatar and change it to something that you like? Yes. No legs. Margaret is not happy about not having legs. What do you have to say about this, Ben?
It's funny you say that. We're actually working currently on adding legs to the students, to the avatar. Sorry, you'll be able to pick your shoes and your pants and all that kind of stuff. So we're working.
So legs are coming.
Yeah, we're working.
Don't worry. Great. So this is great. I'm in a virtual classroom. I know how to move around. I know that I have an address, and I know that I can change my avatar. But so far, we haven't done much learning. The next step you'll see is very easy, is that I'm going to invite Ben as my student to my virtual classroom. So you may remember earlier I was saying 99 Unicorn Boulevard. There's another way for me to retrieve my current address, the address of my virtual classroom, which is go ahead and click on that little home icon at the top left of Koala, and you're going to see this 99 Unicorn Boulevard. And by the way, if you click on this little icon next to it, you're going to be able to copy that address, where you can just remember it. And let's say Ben doesn't know my address, so what I can do is just take my phone and send a message. I don't know if you're communicating with your students directly over WhatsApp, over email, or you're talking to the parents. You'll only need to provide this address once, and it will always be the same. So just once, send that address to your students.
So actually, maybe as an answer to Susan's concern, which is a very valid concern, that kids might be dyslexic for the most part, and they might struggle to type the classroom name. The good news is that once it's typed, their computer will remember it for next time around, so they won't have to type it again every single time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Ben, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Do you mind showing what a student would be doing to join 99 Unicorn Boulevard?
Yes. So I'm going to play the student today, as I always do. And I'm going to show you what I would do if you invited me to your classroom. So typically as a student, I'm going to head out to teachwithkoala.com, the same website that we shared with you earlier. So just send them this address. You can just click on the link. You can even put that link in the calendar event. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit here. And depending on obviously my computer, I can pick all three options as a student, including launching your browser. And for the purpose of this demo here, I'm going to show the launch in your browser option, just because it's slightly quicker. But I would definitely recommend Windows or Mac if they have the time to install it and if they're able to do it on their own. Otherwise, just have them launch in your browser. So launch in your browser, click on that. It just takes a couple seconds to load. I'm going to let it load, and I'm going to go ahead and type my name in here. I'm going to say Ben, and I already have Xavier's address here because we've already been playing a little bit. So I'm going to retype it just to show you, and I'm going to click Join Room. And so as soon as I click Join Room, I appear in Xavier's classroom. And just like Xavier was able to move around and look around, I'm going to use the same controls to look around and move around. So here I can see Xavier over here. I can see his Christmas tree in his room. I can see his whiteboard here, his browser board here. And I see his camera. As a matter of fact, I can also turn on my camera. I just have to turn it off on Zoom. If I turn on my camera here, my camera will appear top left. I have a little selfie cam view here. I can actually also move it around if I want to, if it's kind of in the way. Just drag and drop here. Xavier will see my camera right next to my avatar, just like I see his camera next to his avatar. Okay. The other point that I wanted to make is there's this laser coming out of Xavier's hand. You might have noticed that. And this tells me where Xavier is pointing on the screen, where his mouse cursor is pointing towards. So for example, Xavier, can you put your mouse cursor on the cactus in the room? That's right. So right now, Xavier, I can see that Xavier is not only looking towards the cactus, that means the cactus is kind of centered in his view, but I can also see that he's pointing his cursor on the cactus. And it's the same story for me. If I ask Xavier, what am I pointing at now? Xavier will see
you are pointing at the window.
That's right, because Xavier sees the laser pointer going from my hand to the window. Okay, and so this is a pretty simple but convenient tool to kind of allow you to point out things, show things, and even play games.
So Ben,
in exercises.
Can you re-explain for everybody so it's very clear how you invite your first student to Koala as a teacher?
Yeah, for sure. Let's redo the whole process for those of you
from scratch.
Yeah, for sure.
And what device is supported?
Yep. Yeah, those are all great questions. So in order to invite your student, I think you already all understood that you all have a permanent address. As a matter of fact, the student can see your address up here. Xavier's permanent address is 99 Unicorn Boulevard. You want to invite a student, just send them the address if they don't have it already. So it kind of acts like a physical address, right? As if it was the address of your office. So you send them your address, your Koala office address, and they head over to teachwithkoala.com, scroll down a little bit, pick the platform that they want. If they don't have mom and dad's help, maybe you have them click directly and launch in your browser, the one with 3 W's. Have them type the address, like we saw earlier, their name, and click join. and they should be in.
And this is something, Ben, that they can do on their Mac, on their Windows, on their Chromebook.
So for the supported devices, we support Macs, we support Windows. They don't have to be very powerful computers. It can be older generations. It should be okay. Obviously, the better computer you have, the more smooth the experience will be. But we do support even lower end computers. And we also support Chromebook. So a lot of your students might have Chromebooks, in which case this might be interesting. Yeah, I think Susan is pointing out a good point here. We do not support iPads just yet, Susan. I'm really sorry. I understand that's a big requirement for a lot of people. We are, however, in the process of making an iPad app. It does take a little while because it's not as easy as just porting it over. There's a bit more involved. But yeah, we want to do an iPad app. We want to do a good iPad app. So that takes a little bit of while, Susan. Hopefully you can hang in there, and yeah, hopefully you have students that have something else than an iPad.
All right. So we have 25 minutes left. Ben, how about we do a little letter tile exercise to show how it would work?
Why don't you take screen again? So.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. So I'm going to share my screen again. So you were seeing from a student's perspective when Ben was sharing his screen, and now we're going back to seeing the virtual classroom from a teacher's perspective.
I think my avatar
Ben,
is
are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep. I'm just going to change my avatar.
Great. So Ben is changing his avatar right now.
I'm done.
You have many tools in Koala. This is a sandbox for you so that you can create your own virtual classroom, use any program, teach anything that you want. You'll see that behind Ben right now, right here, I have this browser, this Google browser. We're not going to get too much into it today because we will focus on the whiteboard today. So you see here on my right, there is this whiteboard, and there is this crossbow icon at the very top right. Go ahead and click on this. As soon as you click on this, it puts the whiteboard in full screen mode, okay? For me and for Ben, the student. Ben cannot run around in the virtual classroom as soon as I click on this icon. And if you click again, he will be free to roam again. So that allows me to focus Ben. Okay, Ben, we've had a good fun. Now let's focus on the whiteboard. And then you see those little videos here. You can drag and drop them outside of the, sorry, not drag and drop them. Click on them and then move them, and then click again to release. Put them on the right. And what we will do to create our letter tiles right now is we're going to look at those 5 icons at the bottom. Those are very powerful and they allow you to do different things. As you may have guessed, the pencil icon here allows me to choose from a palette of colors and then draw. Okay. It's exactly the same for Ben. So Ben, do you mind doing another green square next to mine?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. And maybe a third one as well.
Sure.
Very well. So you see you have a collaborative whiteboard here. If you make a mistake, you can use the second icon, which is an eraser. Okay, up, and you hold your click and you swipe and it erases. And then we're going to click finally on the 4th icon, which is a T, which stands for text. And we have this little sticky note that pops up above. This means that if you click anywhere now, you're going to spawn a sticky note. 2, 3, 4. And Ben is doing the exact same thing right now. And then I'm going to go back to the cursor that allows me to do pretty much anything else. And I'm going to select this sticky note by just clicking once on it. So try to do this at home, click on the sticky notes once, and then release. Once you've clicked once, the sticky note is selected, so you can move it around, okay? And then if you want to type any text, go ahead and on your keyboard type return, the return key. This allows me to type any text that I want. So let's say we want to build a letter tile system. So I'm going to create some consonants. And Ben, can I ask you to create some vowels in that color?
In the purple color?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And what I want to do, first of all, I'm going to make them a little bit bigger by clicking on the crossbow here and increasing the size here, just so that you can see. If I type a return, I see also options to change the color. Okay, and I want my consonants to be a different color. So let's do yellow. And let's delete those by selecting them and then delete on my keyboard. Delete.
Except, can we just take a couple quick questions here?
Of course, Ben.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Chris was asking whether the experience is the same on Chromebook as it is on Mac and PC. The answer is yes. It should be the exact same controls and the exact same experience. Chris is also asking, he's having a hard time with the sticky notes. Chris, can you tell us specifically what is causing you harm here? Or
how do you make the note bigger or edit?
No, that's Kim.
We hear this question from Kim. Maybe Chris, you have the same questions. Let me walk you through how to use sticky notes again. Go ahead and click on the T for text cursor icon, sorry. And then click anywhere you want. It will spawn a sticky note just once. Then go back to your cursor here, cursor icon, and click once on the sticky note, just once. It's not you don't need to hold your click. It's just click once and then release. And that will allow you to move it around. And if you want to change the color or type text, you type on return, the return key on your keyboard once.
Yeah, if you forgot the controls, you'll always have a little contextual help on the left. Xavier, can you point at the contextual help here?
Absolutely, that's a good point. If you click on the sticky note, immediately you'll see E or return is edit, click is release, plus or minus to scale up or down, R or shift R to rotate right and left, and delete to delete. Okay, so let's try R. Let's press R on my keyboard and see what happens. It rotates.
Yeah, right.
Tell me, Ben.
So wait. So I think Kim was struggling to make the note bigger. So to make it bigger, smaller, you just press plus minus once it's selected. To edit it, just press enter on your keyboard or return. I don't know if you have a Windows or a Mac. Just press enter, you start typing. Chris, it should be the same for you. Just click on the sticky note if you haven't clicked already on it, and then press enter on your keyboard. Okay. And then Nicola is lost as to how to get to the whiteboard. Can you show us maybe again how to get to the whiteboard to begin with?
Of course. So when you enter your virtual classroom, Nicholas, you're looking at the browser like this. On your right, there is a whiteboard here. And I realized that I forgot to mention something that's important. You can click right. If you have a mouse, try right click and hold the right click and swipe up and down.
Move
that will tilt the head. Yeah, move the mouse up and down. That will tilt the head of your avatar up and down.
Just like this. I can show you guys what I mean. So if I right click down, keep the right click mouse button down, move the mouse up, I look up, move the mouse down, I look down. Okay.
Great, Nicola. So if you look up at the top right of the whiteboard, you're going to see this little crossbow icon. Click on it, and you're in full screen mode. And I'm not sure. I have no sticky notes. I've done this before with no problems. I can't even erase new text.
So I'm not
Chris, sure what.
Yeah, Chris, can you just shoot me an email? We can, if you want, right after this webinar, I can join your room, and you can show me what's not working for you, and I can help you there. I'm gonna send you my email. Oh, he was on the wrong board. Okay. Well, it should work on all the boards, but feel free to just send me an email, Chris.
And the last thing I will show you here to make it easier to build letter tiles is, let's say I've built this sticky note that's the right size that I want, the right color that I want, and I don't want to create new sticky notes from scratch. First of all, let me delete this one. I click on it and then press delete. What you can do is you can duplicate sticky notes by clicking on that plus button here, and then click once, and then click here. It copies and pastes. And then let's do this a few times. Then I go to my cursor, click here, return. Same here. Same here. And actually, this is a really good feature to use if you want to do, blending drill exercise with your students, because now you don't have to, just drag and drop the icon here to spell cats. You can just leave those as the original alphabet letter tiles and use here the copy paste. So if I want to spell cat, I'm actually going to ask Ben to spell cat here, please, using the copy paste option.
Yeah, so same as Xavier explained, I can click the copy paste button at the bottom, which is the box with the plus. So I'm going to do that. I could use the arrow. Xavier, can you point at the arrow, please? I could use this button here. I could use this button here to move the tiles. This works. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow me to use the same tile over and over again. So if I want to do that, I'm going to click the plus button. Xavier, can you point at it?
Yep.
This one, the plus with the squares. And I'm going to click on the tile once and then click again for where I want it to be copied. So here I've selected an A, so I'm going to paste here. Now I have A in the middle. I'm going to do the same with C, and I'm going to do the same with T. And now I spelled cat. Another cool thing you can do is, we saw a teacher do that. If you guys can see my camera, I can use the camera to point at the letters. So here I'm pointing at C, A, and T. And that's pretty cool.
So again, and the way Ben did this is he clicked on his camera, just like you click on the sticky note, and put it here, and then press plus on your keyboard, and we'll make it bigger. So if you really need, by the way, to have a lot of space, and if you're a little bit narcissistic, so you can put yourself in full screen mode that way. All right. I think we may have other questions, but I'm just going to take a few minutes to wrap up and tell you the other free resources that you have, and then we'll take the remaining time for additional Q&A, if that's okay with you. So in order to exit the full screen mode, you click here, and in order to exit your virtual classroom, you click here, save and quit. And this will allow you to get out of your virtual classroom and allow and kick out your student as well. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm changing my mind here, but we've done such a great work here that I would like to save this work. The way you save your work, this is an important one, is go on the bottom right here.
Sorry, Xav, before you continue here, I guess Gita, unfortunately, Gita left, but she brought up a point where she needs, maybe we should email her. She needs her students to see her articulate words. And one complaint that she had was that her camera was too small. But you saw that you can, once you kind of focus on a whiteboard by clicking on the button on the frame, you can enlarge your camera to occupy the entire screen, just like Xavier showed. Sorry, my camera has a little issue here. I'm going to turn it off and turn it on again. Here we go. And this should allow you to move your mouse.
Make your camera as big as you need.
Yeah.
Cat.
Sad that Gita didn't see that.
Okay, we'll reach out to her.
Yeah.
So what I was saying, what I wanted to show you is that once you've built a really great system and maybe you've decorated your classroom, you can go here, click there on the bottom right, and then go to Save Class. And that will allow you to save the classroom. As you can see, I have a lot of saved classrooms. You click on Save as New Class at the bottom here, click here and then say my letter tile system, for instance. And then you're going to go and click here. All right, let me show you those last little pieces of information that I wanted to show you, and then we'll get back to question and answers. Ben, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so this is an important one. The recording of this webinar it will be available on our YouTube channel, so we'll share it with you. Don't worry, feel free to watch it again and reach out if you have any questions. This product was built for you and your students if video conference is not working for them. So go ahead and use Koala with your students. It's free. And we love feedback. We actually need feedback to improve the product. If you think it's too complicated to use, for instance, there's nothing we can't do, okay? Don't go easy on us. If you give us honest feedback, that's how we improve and we build a better product for you. So we listen to your feedback and we update Koala at least once a month with new features. Other free resources. So please reach out to Gian from our team or to Ben, and we'll respond to your questions, and we'll provide personal training sessions if you want to. Okay, Gian is helping out other teachers at the moment, so he's not with us today. But shoot an email to Gian at the bottom at gian@einsteinstudios.io. Ben, do you mind putting Jan's email address in the chat, please?
Already done.
Oh, ahead of me. And if you or your colleagues want a training for Koala, this is a free resource for you. Use it.
Yeah, we do everything for free, you guys. So take advantage of all those resources if you can.
Yeah, you should. Finally, I invite you guys to go to our Facebook if you're using Facebook, to join our Facebook group. This is where you have a lot of the teacher community that's sharing their virtual classrooms with each other, sharing tips, asking questions. We have two new tutorials every week, which we're sharing on that group. So the name of the group is Koala Teachers Family. And we have the next webinar is going to be on January 5th. So next year, you can sign up, you can register on our website. You're absolutely invited. Feel free to also invite your colleagues and friends if Zoom does not work well for them. And thank you very much for your time. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. So one thing we did not, there's a lot that we didn't show during this webinar because there's a ton of other features. So we're happy to take questions that you guys might have and kind of show you how to do things that you might be wondering if it's possible to do. And if not, we'll give you a little exercise, which is Xavier's beautiful classroom that we just created. Can you open it again, Xav?
Of course. Let me share my screen again.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Please email me. And anybody here obviously should feel free to email me to get help. And so we worked on this amazing letter tile system on the right. Xavier, can you kind of orient so we can see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, we worked really hard. It's beautiful. I'm being very satirical here, but you can actually, I'm going to have Xavier send me this creation so that I can open it. Now, I'm going to play the role of another teacher, of course, but Xavier wants to share this with his colleague, me, and he's going to go ahead and show you how to do that.
Ben, you may want to bring your microphone slightly closer. We can't hear you too well.
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah. Yep, much better. So you remember we saved that environment with save class. Now, if I go to manage classes here, I see all those classes that I saved. And this one is the one I saved, my letter tile system. And here, if I click on those three points here, oops, I'm sorry.
You didn't click on the points. Yeah, there you go.
Proceed.
Because you're in full screen, Zev. Can you exit full screen? You have a
Okay,
different monitor, right? Yeah. Try again.
got it.
There you go.
There we go. So if you click on those three dots, you'll see an option to share this classroom. And I want to share it with my esteemed colleague, Ben, who will be using that work of mine with his own students. So I click on share, and here I get a code. I copy this code, and I will send it to Ben by message.
Can you do Can you do Slack? Can you do Slack actually?
Slack sounds good. And Ben, can you share your screen and see how you would import this classroom to as a teacher if you were a teacher?
I'm going to show you guys in a second. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so now, this is the Windows version of Koala, as you can see here. This is my address. So I'm not going to allow anybody to enter right now. This is just for me to play around with. I'm going to click Start Room to join my room. And now I'm in my own room, which I've actually been playing around with a little bit. I have a cool little setup that I've been sharing with some teachers. And Xavier is going to send me the code. So here he sends me through Slack. I have this code here. I'm going to copy it. Okay. I'm going to head over to the gear icon. I'm going to head over to Manage Classes. And I'm going to click Import Class with Code. Okay, click here. And Control V on Windows, Command V on Mac, and click Download. And here we go. This is the class that Xavier just created in his classroom. And I'm going to add it to my library of classes. I'm going to click here. And now at the very top, I see his class. And I can click on it to load it up in my own classroom. And I have it here now. Okay. So if you want to have some fun, we're going to send in the chat some cool classes that I created. You did? Okay. So we also have this awesome classroom here that you might want to look at. We've been playing with animals and vehicles. Oh, by the way, if you click on the plus button here, you have a little clip art library. Click on the clip art library, you have a bunch of images that are already built into Koala that you can spawn in your classroom. You can add to your classroom. For example, this cool robot here, I can click on it now. Paf, it's in my classroom, right? So I have all these images I can play. We're going to be adding more images, by the way. And feel free to ask us if you have more requests. You can also import your own image just by clicking on Upload Image here. Now that said,
Ben, if you don't mind, let's take one step back.
Sure.
Are you guys able to import the letter tile system classroom that I just shared on the chat?
Yeah. Good question.
Ben, can you show again how you would import that code? Copy it from the chat and
sure. So I'm going to go to Slack here because Xavier sent to me on Slack, but it could be an email, it could be Facebook, it could be whatever. Copy this code. Okay, I can even type it in if I need to. I'm going to go over to the gear icon, bottom right, click on Manage Classes. It looks like a little room. Click on this, and then click on Import Class with Code at the bottom. I could also open an empty classroom if I wanted to start from scratch. But in this case, I just want to import a class with the code because somebody gave me a code. I click here, I can type the code or paste it, and then click download when I'm done. Here, I could rename it if I wanted, but I'm not going to do that because I like the name that Xavier gave to this class. I could potentially rename it as by Xav. That way I'll remember who created this. And then I can click add to my library. And now I see it at the top up here. If I want to load it up, I just click on it now. Say discard current class progress. There is no current class progress, so I don't care. Proceed, and here we go. Here it is.
Nice. Ben, there's a question for you.
Yes.
Is there a way to add a document to a board?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So if you want to add a document, for example, a PDF or a text file, the best way to do it is to head over to this browser here. And by the way, we didn't show anything around the browser, but this is a pretty powerful tool for you guys. You can click on the top right button of the browser to focus on it like this. And then there's a little plus button with document here. So you can click on that. This will allow you to open any document, whether it's a PDF or a picture or a text file. There are certain things that we don't support, like PowerPoints or proprietary formats of the sort. But typically, you can always export your PowerPoint to a PDF. Click on the PDF, click open, and voila, PDF appears in your classroom. Okay, and obviously this document, this picture, is shared with anybody who's in the classroom at the same time as you. So any of your students will see the same thing as you see, as what you see.
Awesome.
Hopefully does that answer the question? I hope it does.
Kim, does that answer your question? What Ben just explained?
So focus on the browser, click on the plus button here with the document, and import any PDF that you want. Yeah.
Ben, Kim is actually asking, can you put it on any other board or wall? This document.
So no, you can't. Right now, you can only load a document on this particular board. The other boards are simple whiteboards. However, you can upload a picture if that's something that you might be interested in. For example, I have this amazing picture of myself here that I can import. And in this case, I can blow it up like we were blowing up, like we were increasing the size of the sticky notes, and I can put it on this board. So if you have your document in the form of a picture, that'll work.
Cool. All right. I think we went over so much in such a short time. Sorry if it was a little bit overwhelming. We hope it was helpful for you. Feel free to start using Koala and reach out to us if you need any additional help. We're really happy to. We're going to type, Ben, do you mind typing your email address or Jan's email address again?
Yeah, I just put mine. Please just reach out to me. Feel free. This is my work. This is what I live for, is to be helpful for you guys. So it's not rude to reach out to me. Thanks, Chris. I can reach out to you as well if you prefer. What is the Facebook group called? Can you put a link to it?
Teachers Family. Yes,
can you also put the link in there? Okay, perfect. Chris, I'm reaching out to you.
Yeah, let's do a private training to help Chris out.
Yeah.
All right, and I am pasting the link to our Facebook group. Thank you very much, guys. Have a happy holidays. We are here for you if you need any help, and we'll see you on December 5th at our next webinar. Bye.
Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for joining.